Hello everyone and welcome to my Polarthon vlog. Now, at the time of me starting this vlog, it is currently Wednesday, which means that we are currently on the third day of Polarthon. I have been really busy with work on Monday and Tuesday, and I have also been reading other books, and so I didn't want to start off this vlog too early because I knew that I couldn't really read books for this vlog until I'd finished my other books. So I am starting a little bit later, but I'm so happy to finally be sitting down and spinning the wheel for the first time. I do think I'm going to spin as I go. I might do 2 spins today though, depending on what I get as a first prompt, because I do have my February TBR that I would like to stick to. I do also have 1 physical book that I'm currently reading that I would possibly like to fit in as well, and I have saved a lot of books on Scribd. So without further ado, let's just do the first spin. So this is what the wheel looks like. As you can see, there are loads of different prompts on there, and if you would like to get a more in-depth look at this year's Polarthon, then definitely check out Jade from JD Ray Reads video on it. It is her readathon. She's been doing it for a few years now, and her announcement videos always encompass everything you need to know. So of course I will leave that link down below, but I do think that it's time to spin the wheel, and why am I so scared, guys? Honestly. Right, I'm going for it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, click. Oh, hopefully we get a good prompt. Okay. We got Cold Word, which I can definitely find a book for that. I'm just not sure which one, so give me a sec and I will come back to you. Right guys, it took me way too long to find a book to fit this prompt, but I finally found a book that fits, and that one is Murder in the Snow by Verity Bright, and this is apparently a gripping 1920s historical cozy mystery. I do believe that this was on my December TBR, however I didn't end up getting to it, so now would be the perfect time to do so. This has been one that I've wanted to read ever since I bought it, which I think was around 2 years ago, so the fact that I'm finally picking it up because of Polarthon is making me very happy. All I really know about this one is that we follow an amateur detective called Lady Eleanor Swift, and leading up to Christmas in this village they have a Christmas fun run where a lot of people take part, but unfortunately one person drops dead at the finish line this time round. As well as that, the vicar soon falls ill, and Eleanor is starting to think that these 2 cases might be linked. And it just says here, can she nail the true killer and clear her name in time for Christmas? So this is a little bit out of season at the minute because obviously it's a book revolving around Christmas. However, as I've mentioned, it's one that I have been planning on reading for a while, and it's one of the only books that I found off my bookshelves that has a cold word in the title. I do think I am going to spin the wheel one more time though, just to see if I can get an audiobook on there or to see if my current read will fit. So once again, let me turn you around, and I'm just going to bring the laptop closer, but last time we got cold word, let's see what we get this time round. Hopefully it's a good one. Okay, we got Ice and Snow. I was honestly scared that that was going to land on Cold Word again, but Ice and Snow is a little bit more manageable, I think. Okay, this was definitely a better prompt for me because I did have a few books saved on Scribd, as I mentioned, specifically ready for me to listen to during Polarthon. So I've had a look through, and I will just tell you the options. I had Sky Song, Never Tell, The Midnight Guardians, and The Chime Seekers for this round. However, I do have a few more that I have saved for previous years as well, so I might have a look at that list later on. But I have decided that I'm actually going to listen to Never Tell. I will of course pop the cover up on screen for you guys because I don't have a physical copy, but it's written by Catherine Orton and narrated by Aisha Kala, and the synopsis reads: a snowy adventure set in the wilds of Siberia, full of magic and wonder. Born in a Soviet prison camp, Lena has never seen the world outside until the night she escapes with her best friend Bogdan. As the pair journey across a snowy wilderness, they are pursued by a vengeful sorceress and her pack of shadow wolves. The children will need every ounce of courage and a whisper of magic if they are to survive. That sounds absolutely amazing. I have just seen another book actually that I could use for cold word if I'm struggling to read physically, and that is Eye of the North. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but that is a book written by Sinead O'Hart, so if I feel like I can't sit down and physically read, then I can go back to the Eye of the North and pick that one up as my cold word book. week. I would honestly love to spin the wheel again because this is so fun. However, I think that 2 books is ambitious enough to start off with, so I am gonna stop it there. But hopefully I can get through both of these pretty soon so that I can spin the wheel with you guys for another time. For now though, I might actually sit down and start reading Murder in the Snow. I do need to edit an Middlegrade unboxing that I've just filmed though. That will be going up hopefully by tomorrow or the day after, so I do really need to prioritize that in the minute. But after that I will hopefully pick this one up. It's not that long, it's about 270 pages from what I can see without spoiling myself, so it should be a quick read. Hopefully I get caught up in all the excitement and drama of the mystery, and I will of course be trying my best to solve this one as well. I probably won't start Nevertell until tomorrow, but I will be listening to it on my commute to and from work, as well as when I take Kiwi for a walk and when I just do a few odd chores around the house. So hopefully by tomorrow night I will have a few updates for you guys, and I'm honestly so happy to have finally started this vlog, to have gotten my first 2 spins and to now know what I will be reading. So yeah, I'm gonna start these 2 books as soon as I can, and I will of course update you guys as soon as I have some thoughts. Long time no see, you guys. It is actually Sunday now, which means that it is the last day of Polarthon. I have been awful at reading and updating you, so I'm so sorry about that. I've just had the busiest week, and this weekend I just really haven't felt like myself. I haven't filmed anything this weekend because I just felt a bit flat. I am definitely not having a good time with myself at the minute and my appearance and things like that, and I was just not feeling it today. So yeah, it's weird for me to have not filmed, but I did want to pop in here now and update you guys on what I've been reading and how far through the books I am, because I have actually made a bit of progress. I didn't really start these books properly until I want to say Friday, and then yesterday I did start Murder in the Snow. I read it where I could throughout the day. I did include some b-roll of the day as well, so you will have seen that, and then we watched the Wales-Scotland game, which really wasn't great for Wales, but hopefully we can pick ourselves up for the next match. I'm not 100% confident though, but yeah, Warren Gatlin's back. Hopefully he can work some magic and our squad can be a little bit better again. But yeah, that was most of Saturday. We also watched the France Ireland game, which was really good. And then today we woke up, we went to badminton first thing, came back, then take Kiwi for a walk for about an hour. So that's 2 hours of my day gone. And then we decided to just tackle the house because this is quite an old house. My mum has owned it for 34 years, I want to say. It's a terraced house and yeah, it's just not sealed as well as newer houses, so we did have a bit of a mold problem. I had the window in my library actually is where I first noticed it, and then throughout the week it just went awful. It was up the walls and everything, so I thought, right, this weekend I'm going to tackle it. We also then decided to check the window for the bedroom, and of course there was loads there as well, and then lo and behold the office was absolutely awful as well. So we decided to clean the house like that, and then I also decided to clean my car because it's well overdue a clean, and now that I've done it I feel so much better for it. So essentially that's what we've been doing all day. And then I did again watch a rugby game today. It was England versus Italy, and after that I did some meal prepping. So I've just had the busiest weekend, to be honest with you, and yeah, not the best when you want to partake in a readathon. However, I am currently 128 pages into Murder in the Snow. I'd say I'm about halfway through. I think this book is, what was it, 270 pages I want to say. So yeah, about 135 pages through would be halfway. I'm making good progress in this. It's definitely a slower read, which is why I haven't really read it as quickly as I wanted to. As soon as I pick it up, I am very interested in what's going on. However, I feel like I'm just reading it so slowly, and there's just a lot of filler in here at the minute. One death has occurred and we haven't really gotten to know anything about what actually happened or who might be involved. It is literally just everyone in the village gossiping about this man having died. So I am really intrigued to see how it's going to play out. I honestly am not sure if I'm going to finish this tonight. I would love to, but as I mentioned, I've just been struggling to actually sit down and read a good chunk of this book. I've been reading a few chapters here and there, and then I've been putting it down to watch a video or to go and do other things. And so yeah, it's just not gripping me as much as I wanted it to, but I'm hoping that once we actually get into the details of what happened and we start to get more theories, then that will probably make me want to pick it up even more and will possibly make me read it faster as well. One thing I will say about this book that I'm not really enjoying, there's some really strange language in it. An example here is botheration. It's like when someone says, oh bother, but for some reason this character says, oh botheration. Oh, there was something else as well. I think it was lunchy poos was in this. So yeah, not a massive fan of the language either. I find it a bit cringy, I don't know. But I'm halfway through now. I don't want to give up. I would like to get this read tonight, as I mentioned. It is currently 7:30, which is really bad. I have work tomorrow, of course, and I don't really want to be staying up too late because I'm absolutely knackered at the minute. I'm just not doing amazing, as I mentioned, and so yeah, I think I'm just struggling a bit and I need my sleep. So we'll see. The plan is to get into bed in a minute and just try and power through. Hopefully that means I can finish it, especially if I take myself upstairs, because when I sit downstairs with Tom I tend to get distracted with whatever he's doing. If he's playing a game on his Xbox, I normally kind of watch it. If he's watching something on telly, I of course tend to watch that as well. So yeah, I will take myself away from the distractions and that way I can dedicate all of my attention to this book. Though I do need to make the bed. I put the bedding in the wash this morning and I've just put it off until now, so before I get into bed I have to make it, which is such a chore. I hate making the bed. I love it once I've done it, and freshly washed sheets are amazing, but yeah, I think it's just such a tedious job that I wish I didn't have to do sometimes. Anyway, moving on, I have been listening to Never Tell as well, and I've actually only got an hour and 53 minutes left. This is another one that I'm enjoying, but I'm not wanting to continue listening to it, if that makes sense. So like, as soon as I put it off, I'm just like, okay, I can do something else now. Nothing is drawing me back to it, which is a bit of a shame, but it is a good book so far. We have a group of characters at the start of this this book who were in a Russian prison camp under Stalin's rule. But one night, a group of prisoners decide that they are going to escape, and our main character Lena does end up going with them. Of course, once they get out into the real world and find themselves in a bit of a sticky situation, the other campmates threaten Lena's life and she does decide to flee with her best friend who has sneakily followed her all this way. At the point I am now, Lena and Bogdan have actually encountered an evil sorceress and her pack of hungry ghost wolves. Now, I did really enjoy that whole interaction. I definitely think that some things were very convenient and a little bit illogical, but I do need to remind myself that this is a middle grade book, so I'm definitely not the target audience. I do love a middle grade, but I do have to suspend my disbelief a little bit just because things do tend to work out for the better very, very easily in these books, and the adult high fantasy side of my brain is just struggling with that. But I am enjoying it so far. It's a perfect read for Polarthon. There is currently a snowstorm happening in this book whilst the characters are trying to flee. We also have ghost wolves and there is a mention of Baba Yaga as well. So yeah, it's definitely giving me polar fantasy vibes. And again, I do have 2 hours left, so I don't think I can finish it tonight, especially not if I'm planning on sitting down now and reading this. So that is one I might have to push back to tomorrow, which I don't want to be doing, but you could say that I still have a few more days because technically I started Polarthon late. That was of course my fault, but I haven't had a full week of reading yet, so I think an extra day will do me some good and it won't make people too mad. Hopefully not, at least. I honestly debated stopping this vlog and just not uploading it, but I do love taking part in Polarthon. I do want to finish these 2 books as well, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on them whilst everything is still a bit fresh in my head. So yeah, sorry if this vlog is awful. I did debate stopping filming it, as I said, but there was just something in me that couldn't do that, so hopefully the way I've gone about everything is fine. I'm very intrigued to see how both of these stories are going to wrap up, and I think I'll probably update you guys tomorrow now because I am feeling tired. I am going to make my bed now and just get into it and try and read, so hopefully that is actually what happens and I don't get distracted. But yeah, I think I'm just going to be way too tired to update you guys later on tonight because I definitely feel like I'm flagging now. I've done my fair share of activities today and yeah, I just want to curl up now all nice and comfy with a book. So that is it from me for now, and I guess I'll chat to you guys tomorrow. I definitely failed Polarthon, you guys. It is now Thursday the 16th of February, and so I'm wrapping up this vlog about 4 days after Polarthon has actually finished. Now, I did manage to listen to the rest of Nevertell on Monday, however I didn't actually finish Murder in the Snow until last night, and I finished it pretty late in the evening, which is why I didn't update you. I do just want to apologise for this vlog in general. I think I mentioned that I was debating not posting it, but I filmed the majority of it, so I am just gonna end it off here. Hopefully it's been enjoyable to some of you at least. I'm sorry if not. But first off, I am gonna wrap up my thoughts on Nevertell. This was a 3-star read for me. It was a very enjoyable middle grade, and I would highly recommend it to any young reader who loves a fantasy book filled with magic, rebellion, amazing friendships, amazing family relationships, and just the general overall message of overcoming hardships. For me personally though, it was definitely quite predictable. I could guess the twists and turns that were coming, however, of course, I'm not the target audience, and so younger readers will definitely be more surprised and shocked by the reveals. The story is definitely light-hearted enough for kids to enjoy, however, it does have a darker undertone with our main character being from a prison camp. I did really enjoy that aspect of it actually. I really liked seeing how people would have been living in these different camps with the guards that were around them and the different limitations that were on them in terms of food and free time. My voice is going, please ignore that. And also the different jobs that the prisoners had to do every day in order to get through life at the camps. There is also plenty of action action and magic, which is really well thought out and well explained, as this is definitely more of a plot-based book than a character-based book. I feel like some of the characters were a bit all over the place. You didn't really get too many connections in this. You did just focus mainly on Lena, who is our main character, which does make sense, but yeah, a lot of the side characters were kind of forgotten about throughout this book, and I think it would have made it a little better if we had more of a connection to them and maybe saw a bit more of their history as well. That being said, I loved the setting for this. It is perfect for Polarthon. I'm so glad that I finally got around to reading it. It's a great story that has a touch of historical fiction in it. It's richly descriptive, and it does also feel a little bit like a fairy tale. So yeah, if you do think that this would be for you, then I would highly recommend picking it up. Unfortunately for me, it was a little bit middle of the road, but it's one that I will continue to recommend, especially for Polarthon and for younger readers who do love a fantasy book as well. And then we have Murder in the Snow. This was also a 3-star read for me. I found this one to be very slow and also quite predictable. Now, I do think that I mentioned a few clips back that I was struggling to pick this up. It definitely took me way longer than it should to read a murder mystery. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the writing style or the characters or the descriptions. I think my main issue with it was that it just seemed to go on forever. Like, we weren't actually getting answers. There was a lot of he said, she said, but nothing concrete. And the first half of this book was just a drag, unfortunately. The second half did pick up as I thought it would. Again, it was quite slow though right up until the end, and unfortunately I did also guess who the culprit was just after the halfway mark, I'd say. Something happened and I thought it was between one of two people, and then the closer we got to the end of the book I was more and more certain, and then of course I was right. So normally that would be quite satisfying, but I'm not sure if it was just a little bit poorly done here. I don't know. I really did enjoy the characters in this though. We have a great relationship between Eleanor Swift and her kind of butler, I want to say, who is called Clifford. He is so funny, and to be honest, he's the one that does a lot of the sleuthing. He kind of hints and suggests things to Eleanor, and then she just kind of goes, oh yeah, of course, and then takes the reins. So I definitely want to give credit to Clifford. But yeah, this also says that it's a historical cozy mystery. It's set in the 1920s, so I definitely get that. However, it's not really a massive factor in this. If you were to tell me that it's set in modern day, I would believe you. There's nothing really 1920s about it, if I'm completely honest with you, except for the fact that she is a wealthy heiress. But yeah, other than that, it was middle of the road again. Nothing too memorable. I will probably get rid of this one, and I don't know if I would pick up another book in this series. I know the author has quite a few books out in this series following the same characters. Earlier mysteries were referenced throughout this, so it probably is best to read them in order and follow the characters' progression that way. However, yeah, this one was not really what I expected. I did kind of enjoy the story, however I just think the slow pace really put me off, and this is what I'm trying to get out of reading at the minute, because these are the types of books that put me in a slump. So yeah, glad that I read it, glad that it's off my TBR now, but it's probably one that I won't read again, and as I mentioned, I probably won't continue on with the rest of these books either. So a pretty disappointing Polarthon for me. We've had 2 3-star reads, which honestly isn't that bad. It's just kind of a mediocre book. It was fine, it was nothing that blew me away. And then of course I've just been so busy that I haven't really been able to film this vlog the way I wanted it, and I feel like it has been a bit dull. So I am really sorry about that. I hope it's also not too negative. Please do remember that these are just my personal thoughts and opinions. If you've read these books and loved them, then I am not going to disagree with you or anything like that. That's the beauty of being readers. We can all interpret books differently, and different books mean a lot more to us than others. So if you've had an amazing experience reading these books, I'm so happy for you. Unfortunately for me this time round, they just didn't blow me away. Please do let me know what you guys read for Polarthon, and if you have vlogs or anything like that, let me know that down below as well so I can check them out. If you have been participating and you are able to donate some money, please do remember that Jade has a donation page, which I will have linked below again, where you can donate an amount of your choice, which does go towards helping save the polar bears. I of course am going to do that. I am going to wait until payday though, because money is a little bit tight at the minute, but this is an amazing cause. I've obviously taken part in Polarthon, and yeah, I will be able to donate once I do get that paycheck through. So yeah, if you are able to and you want to, definitely consider doing that. But that is it from me today, guys. I am going to end this video here. I don't know how long it is, so again, again, sorry if it is a long one. The emoji of the video, of course, has to be polar bears for Polarthon. How could it be anything else? I have been using my Daisy and Bee Polarthon bookmark, which is just the cutest thing. Look at these guys. So if you have made it all the way through but don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, please go ahead and comment a polar bear emoji now. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. But that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!